Hello and welcome back to the Traders of the World Tournament. I'm your host, DeltaTDS, and today we've got the Hoenn Elite Four Drake going up against the Galar gym leader Allister. Allister, back in round 1, took on a Rayquaza and won. So this kid has already made quite a name for himself. Also, I believe one of the most viewed matches on the channel. Currently, his round 1 match is sitting at 3rd most viewed at the time of this recording, 519 views. So he's definitely one of the more watched trainers. But as we all know, he's got the Gigantamax Gengar, as Drake has a Mega Salamence. So we're seeing a Mega versus a Gigantamax once more, and probably a few more times. But once these trainers are ready, we can see if Drake is gonna stomp this kid into the ground or if he's gonna be beat by him. Drake leading off with that Flygon, Allister with the Dusknoir. Dusknoir, quite a tanky Pokemon. Throat Chop gonna deal 40%. Dusknoir with the Ice Punch. And that Yachi Berry, bringing it down to 13% health. Throat Punch gonna deal another 44%. And that Rocky Helmet will take out that Flygon. Dusknoir sitting at 50% health is probably gonna be outsped and taken out here. But it did its job. Dusknoir, probably one of my favorites, thanks to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness. But that's off topic. Drake sitting in that Altaria. Dragon Pulse is gonna finish off that Dusknoir. Allister sitting in that Cursula. Kingdra being swapped out here, and Ancient Power going to deal a 1/3 to that. Kingdra. Go for the Yawn, as Cursula goes for Shadow Ball, almost taking out the Kingdra. Kingdra going for Hydro Pump, dealing 42% to that Poltegeist. Kingdra going for another Yawn, as Giga Drain leaves Kingdra on 1% health. Holding on to a hair of health right now. I don't think this thing's even got hair, but it's holding on for dear life. Switching into the Cursula as Hydro Pump misses. Classic Hydro Pump. Ancient Power with the crit. And getting the boost. Kingdra does fall. Cursula's looking very scary right now. Until it falls asleep. Salamence going for that Dragon Dance. Cursula with the Shadow Ball is going to do 82% and get the Spidef drop. Salamence go for another Dragon Dance. Cursula's still asleep, going down to the Sash. And waking up, Shadow Ball taking out the Salamence. Cursula's gonna fall to that Haxorus. And it's Earthquake. Allister sitting in that Runerigus. And Drake switching in that Altaria. Runerigus going for that Disable but failing. Altaria go for the Dragon Pulse. Runerigus go for Rock Slide, dealing almost 2/3 to that Altaria. Altaria go for that Cotton Guard as Runerigus disables that move. Altaria's not going to take too much from those Rock Slides now. Dragon Pulse gonna be doing about a third to Runerigus. And a crit will take out that Runerigus. Allister sending in that Gengar as Drake sends in the Dragalge. Gengar going for Max Ooze, doing about 22% as it gets that special attack boost. Max Darkness gonna deal almost 2/3 to Dragalge. And another Max Darkness does take out the Dragalge. Earthquake does take out the Gengar, but First Body does disable the Earthquake. Switching out to the Altaria. Poltegeist gonna take out Altaria. A lot of taking out here. Haxorus is just up against Chandelure and Poltegeist. Earthquake being disabled once again by Cursed Body. Going for the struggle. Poor Haxorus fighting for its life. Getting a crit on the struggle. But Allister takes game number 1. I think that's the second time we've seen a struggle in a match. But we saw the Mega Salamence with Dragon Dance. We saw Gigantamax Gengar with Max Darkness and Max Ooze. But we are back on the field for game number 2, not 3. Not yet. According to the script, we're supposed to be going to game 3. Cut this out. But once these trainers are ready, we can begin game number 2 and see if Drake can bring this back or if he's going to be humiliated by a kid. Drake leading off with the Kingdra. Allister with that Poltegeist. Hydro Pump, as always, missing. Shadow Ball gonna deal 60%. Kingdra getting that yawn off as it falls to a second Shadow Ball. Drake sending in that Salamence, getting the attack drop on Poltegeist. And Shadow Ball gonna deal 55% to that Salamence. Salamence with the return will take out that Poltegeist. This thing is fast, and with the power of friendship will take out anything. Unless it's got a focus sash. Like that. Ancient Power does take out the Salamence. And another boost! This is where all the damn Ancient Power boosts have been going. To this damn Cursula. Though it does have a Perish counter. Flygon with the Earthquake will take out the Cursula. I mean, it's just a flex at this point, but it's still a flex. Allister sending in that Dusknoir. Currently 4v4 right now. Throat Chop gonna deal 44% to that Dusknoir. Dusknoir disabling Throat Chop, forcing Flygon to go for Earthquake. Deals about the same. Ice Punch gonna deal 60 as another Earthquake just takes out that Dusknoir. Allister is sending out that Gengar. We've seen this thing Gigantamax and go haywire. Max Darkness gonna deal 40% and doing 60% after, thanks to that Spadef drop. Drake sending out that Haxorus. Gonna go for Earthquake, taking it down to 38%. Max Ooze gonna take it down to about a quarter of health. Another Earthquake does take out the Gengar, and Runerigus comes out here. Switching out to the Flygon, that Rock Slide barely keeps it alive. Throat Chop gonna deal 35%. Wait, what happened? Okay, no, it's got one ring spirit. Altaria going for Cotton Guard. Rockside gonna deal about a quarter to Altaria. Dragon Pulse dealing 30. Shadow Claw dealing 17.4%. Runerigus just hoping for anything with this Shadow Claw. But Dragon Pulse does take out the Runerigus. Oh, that's what happened. Dragon Pulse to the Chandelure, Shadow Ball to the Altaria. A Shadow Ball does take out the Altaria, and it's just down to Haxorus here. Earthquake does take out the Chandelure, and Drake takes game number 2. Which means we're going on to a game 3. Both trainers seem pretty well even. That Haxorus is probably the biggest threat on to Allister's team, with just how hard it can hit and how fast it is with that voice scarf. But once these trainers are ready, we can see just who will be moving on to round 3. Match 80 marks halfway through at least the recorded matches. Drake leading off with Kingdra, Allister leading off with that Gengar. G-Max Terra gonna deal 83%. Kingdra going for Yawn, making that Gengar sleepy. And another G-Max Terra will take out the Kingdra. Gengar is currently asleep. Haxorus coming out here. Earthquake's gonna deal 70%. And another Earthquake does take out Gengar, but Earthquake does get disabled. Allister sending out the Chandelure here. Haxorus is most likely going to have to switch out here. It's a Dragalge who takes the Will-O-Wisp. As Allister switches into the Runerigus. And a Shadow Ball take deals 60% to it. And a second Shadow Ball does take out Runerigus. With those burns, Dragalge is down to 83% right now. As Allister sends in that Dusk Wall. Ice Punch going to deal 50%. As Shadow Ball deals 50%. And another Ice Punch does take out the Dragalge. It is currently 4v4 right now. Sending in the Flygon. Throat Chop going to deal 40%. Ice Punch going to take it down to 20%. But Flygon wins this time, with Earthquake taking out the Dusknoir. Allister sending in that Cursula. Throat Chop is going to take it down to 90, or do 92% to it. As Strength Sap heals it all the way back up, allowing that Focus Sash to be used. Switching out to the Altaria, Strength Sap gonna lower its attack. Ancient Power gonna take it down to just about halfway. Ursula being forced to switch out here into the Poltegeist, disabling Dragon Pulse with Curse Body. Moonblast gonna deal 21%, getting these special attack drop. Shadow Ball gonna deal about a third to Altaria with the special defense drop. Moonblast doing another 21 as another Shadow Ball takes out that Altaria. As Haxorus' turn to come back in here. Earthquake going to that Protect. Curse Body not activating. Strength Sap gonna heal that Cursula all the way back up. Looking for a low roll. Does get a low roll. Strength Sap gonna heal it up. Just healing up as much as it can from this Haxorus. Getting a crit. Throat Chop does finish off that Cursula. As a perish count is put on Flygon. Earthquake takes out the Chandelure. And Drake takes game 3, which means he will be moving on to round 3, where he'll be facing off against Thornton in game match 118. Join us Monday, where we will be seeing the Macrocosmos Oleana go up against Castle Valet Derek. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.